Hola amigos, welcome to a mod spotlight for Better with Mods. It's been a while since I've made a video, so I hope this goes okay. This is a mod that is based on an old mod that was called Better Than Wolf. I think it was created by Flower Child, and this new version is it's inspired on that one. Actually, it's almost the same blocks and a few new things. I think it's Prime Toxins and Beto are the ones who did that, but don't quote me on that. I'm gonna put everything on the description down below. But we're playing right now Grim Life, and Better with Mods is one of the mods actually included in this mod pack. I'm actually on the open server that you can join anytime you want, guys. You only have to contact Grimcore, and I have so it's not the only mod that I have in here. But Better with Mod is basically one of the ones that you want to learn how to use at the beginning. So let's start from these are some of the decoration that we'll get into it at the end of the video. But I really like the way they are placed and how they look. We can really do something very fancy with all the decoration. We have these wind chimes that you can hear when I pass through. Maybe I can put my music. This probably is the jukebox. Yeah, there you go. And we have others made by bamboo in there, like this one here. And I think I like most this one. I like the most. But anyway, the first thing you need to do when you start is punch a bunch of grass. Oop, that's not what I wanted. Is punch a bunch of grass, and what that's gonna allow you is to get some hemp fibers. So this in here, this is what you want to get at the beginning of the when you start with this mod. And as soon as you get some of those, you can plant them. And I think I put some in there. Yeah, there are some in here. Let me actually change my game mode to 0. So you can plant it, and you will get not only back some hemp seed, but also the hemp from Better with Mob. And then you have to do a millstone. Okay, one of these. Oh man, what am I doing? Give me a second here. All right, so one of these, and once you get that, this is the recipe, but I'm not going to show you too much the recipes. Actually, I need to show you these ones. This you need a wooden gear that is really easy to craft at the beginning, but there are better ways to craft after. Now, once you put the hemp inside, you have to hand crank these, and you can see we'll start working. And once this is go all the way up, and I think it's like 4 or 5 times that you need to do this. Almost done. One more, and you will see we'll spill that. And now we have some hemp fibers. Now the hemp fibers, you're gonna need a total of 3 stack and 24 to make all the hemp cloth needed. That is really easy to craft like that. This is the formula. Actually, there is another recipe. Oh, I think they remove it. Anyway, once you have that, you can craft this windmill blade. With 4 of those, you can make the windmill. Now, the windmill can be used as a decoration, like in this. I just put some mufflers on the side because it's quite annoying, the noise sometimes. But you can see this is the windmill. Has a decoration it serves, but also mostly you're gonna use it on the same millstone and other machines to so you don't have the need to hand crank everything. Now as soon as I turn it on, you can see I put a lever. Every time you have a gearbox, you can put a lever on it, and that one is not working right now because I have another lever in here. Because when it's raining or snowing and this is working, it's gonna break the gearbox and you have to repair it. So let's turn this on, and you can see now a little bit of smoke particles going through here. And in here, if we put some of this hemp, Nothing's gonna happen until I switch this. Now this is working, and now I don't have to hand crank anything. I just gonna let it work like that, and soon enough we'll have more of these hemp fibers. So this is the first machine that you're gonna have to build, but you need all these in order to do that. I'm just gonna stop it for now and push it like that. Okay, so these in here, the axles are crafted also with this hemp rope and 2 acacia or any wood in here, and this is only 6 fibers that you can use. And the gearbox is really easy, 4 gear woods and a little bit of gold and redstone. Now once you have that enough, that's gonna accelerate the process. And by the way, this in here I crafted also some light blocks. You can see the recipe on that. You need a filament that is redstone, glowstone and string, but you need to go to the nether for that. That when you put some redstone on top, you can flip the switch on and off, and it will accelerate the process of these hemp fibers to grow. So it's quite nice, and you have to put them 2 blocks after the ground like so, and it will help you out even if it's underground. It doesn't matter. Okay, just a quick note, but normally you do that after a while. Once you get to the nether, and all this in here is actually basically at the beginning. So then you need the saw. This saw is like that you have to craft it. You need a leather belt, and leather belt are this leather strip, which is cut leather and tan leather, and this is skewer leather that you need to put on the millstone as well. So if you get some leather, you put it in there, and that's how you get everything to craft yourself one of these saw. Now the saw is gonna hurt you if you go very near. You can see I'm in creative right now, but you can see the blood coming out. So it's a very good machine that you can use sometimes for mob traps. I'm just gonna put it daytime again. And you can hook up this gearbox with axles all around it, except and you can change also. One side is the input, and all the other sides are the output. So I can put, in theory, another machine in there, another in there, and another one right there, as you can see in here. Okay, so and in order to change, once you place the machine, you can shift right click and you can see the arrows pointing in. That's the inward side. So if I shift right click, I will change that. This stopped working, and now I change it to the other side, to the back, bottom, up, or maybe to the back this time. Yep. And then once more is come back here, and now these start working again. So, and these in here are quite nice, because this one will allow you not only to make mob farms, but when you take any kind of wood, when you place the wood in there, it will transform that in this oak planks, bark, and sawdust. Once you place, for example, oak planks in front, you will get 2 of these sidings. Once you place one siding, you will get 2 of these moldings, and when you place that, you get these small ones, the corners. And if you place a corner, you get 2 gearboxes, 2 wooden gears, sorry. So that's all the materials. You can actually place also a melon to get melon like that. So really nice. And normally you get 4 or 7 or something like that. Okay. Now we have also here water wheel. Now the water wheel actually is a little bit better of this, because remember I told you that the gearbox on that is going to break if it's raining or snowing, and it has to be outside. It's not going to work underground. This water wheel, in the other hand, is going to work anywhere you put it, and it's not going to break even if it's raining or snowing. So, which is really nice. And the way you make that water wheel that is right here, you can see we need this wood blades like a chest, and those are made with sidings and any kind of slime or even glue. Actually, the glue is actually, you can get glue on this mod as well, but remember the siding comes from using the saw. So it's all a process that needs to be done first in order to arrive to the water wheel. And the water wheel will work exactly the same as any of the other ones. You can see that if I take a windmill and I take this, for example, when you place, let me get rid of this, for example, when you place this in here like that, it's easy enough, it's gonna start working. Same as the water wheel. Now, this in here, by the way, the axles, if I place 3, that's okay. If I try to place another one and a machine, let's try to place one gearbox right here. Normally, it won't work, I think. Oh, it didn't used to work. That's strange. Normally, probably because I'm in creative, but normally it didn't work like that. So let's see. Yeah, there you go. So when it's working, you have only 3 that you can play. As soon as I place another one, it's gonna break. So I can place these in here, and you need to leave 3 at least from one gearbox to the next one or to a machine. So I can probably put one of these if there was some space. Of course, I don't have the space right here. Alright, so once we do that, there are other machines that you can actually do. For example, I have here that we're gonna get to it a little later. This is an elevator you can make with better with mods as well, which is really nice. And the only thing you need for that elevator actually is a pulley, and you need, that is underneath, something that is called an anchor. Okay, so a pulley on an anchor, you can see it's really easy to make, and you can make it probably at the beginning, iron and any kind of stone. And an anchor is just wooden gears that we saw already, and this. So really easy to make, and you can make a really nice base on the ground for this kind of stuff. Alright, so moving on. And the wiring is only redstone, so I'm not gonna explain that in here, but it's a easy redstone ladder that I made in there. Now with the millstone, you have other stuff, leather, of course, to get all these and to get the leather belt, but also you can put netherrack to get ground netherrack, hellfire, and eventually concentrate hellfire. Now let me show you when I put netherrack. Let's actually put it on the millstone that is working right now in here. So if I put, actually I have another one right there for this exactly purpose. This one, as you can see, looks really clean, but all the machines are actually connected to this water wheel in here underground. Okay, so if I put this piece of netherrack here, you can actually hear the blocks like a gas screaming. Okay, and you get this in here. So each netherrack will give you a ground netherrack. Okay, so that's the process of how this is gonna work, but I'll show you in a minute why you need all that. So a ground netherrack you need to transform to hellfire dust, and if you take a look at the recipe in here, you will see that you need a hopper. A hopper is one of these machines, really easy to craft, but you need the saw to make the siding and the corners. Okay, but if you take a look at this, it will say that you need a filter put in there, and you throw that piece of ground netherrack and you get the output hellfire dust. This we'll talk about the urns in a second. Now in here, let me see. Okay, in here we have a cauldron as well. A cauldron is another machine that you can use, and it's really easy to make an early game. Okay, and there are plenty of recipes for the cauldron. You can combine these for donuts, and depending on the mods, it has a very good mod integration. But you can see the filament here for these once you have the cauldron to make these. And remember, we use that to make the light blocks. Okay. And in here we have oh, let me show you actually in here. Use. Okay, so we have a cauldron, we have a stoke cauldron, and we have a stoke crucible, and actually a crucible as well. And these are, you see the flame in this is red, but when it's stoked, the flame is gonna go blue, and we'll learn about that in a second on how to make it possible. So once you have this ground netherrack, what you can do with the ground netherrack, actually let me take it. Okay, and let's come in here. We have this a regular filter that I show you how to make, and I put a wicker filter right now. This is made only with sugarcane. Once you put one of those, you can there are several stuff that you can do. For example, I can throw on top of these gravel, and I get not only flint, like as you can see in here, but inside I get more redstone and sand. Okay, so that's one way to get that using that kind of filter. And this in here is a filter. It's a hopper, but it has a soul sand filter. And remember when I show you the uses of these, you need hopper soul urn recipes. So you have a filter here, you throw the ground netherrack, and you get soul sand. I'm not gonna explain the urns for now, but let's try this in here. So if I throw this in here, you see how I get back a hellfire dust, and I don't have anything underneath. The only thing I have is that this hopper is actually connected. Let me put it daytime again. Is actually connected, is powered by this water wheel. And the reason I do that, let me show you. If I throw all my stack, actually I'm gonna just get some in here. You can hear a little bit like a gas also complaining, but nothing really happened. I got my 8 pieces in here. Now if I grab these and I grab a piece of soul sand and I try to do the same, let's go over here for example. So I put my hopper here, I put the soul sand in there, and let's throw this ground netherrack. You can hear it a little bit louder now. Okay, and eventually if I keep doing this, and let me throw away this hopper here. Okay, eventually it will break, and not only that, there's a chance that you will get a gas up here to spawn. But you can see the filter was broken, and I got back some oak wood slab and 1 gearbox. So I need to do it again, and that's not fun. So that's why I recommend powering up the filter hopper. Now let's do that again, and I'm gonna throw the whole stack in there. Yeah, it broke very fast, but I don't see any oh, I know why. I'm in peaceful, that's why. Okay, so let's try that again. Okay, and let's start throwing this in here. It broke, and there you go. We have a gas. Actually, I didn't come prepared for that. So you can see, you can spawn these in the overworld that way. So there is a possibility of a nice farm that I'm actually building in in the server actually for gas, like so. Okay, so now you know how to get this hellfire dust. Once you get that, you can use it in other mods, but also you can use it in a cauldron. Now in a cauldron, if I combine that with a little bit of coal dust, and the coal dust from Better with mods, you can get in a millstone as well. So one of these, you get the coal dust, and then you combine both of them in the cauldron, in a regular cauldron, to get this. So if I take this cauldron is just powered as normal with a little bit of netherrack in the bottom there. So I can throw these two together, and eventually I will get this concentrated hellfire that after that you can use for the Hibachi, and that's the next stage of this mod. There are other uses. I don't think there's a, well, if you have Tinker, of course, there is a bunch of tools. This actually is one of the materials that you can use, for example, for auto smelting and stuff like that. This is almost done, and you will see eventually we'll have in this cauldron this hellfire ingot. Almost there. Okay, we have nether coal. How come? Let me check here the recipe. Oh, okay, sorry. This is to get nether coal. If you leave it to by itself, you get the hellfire, concentrated hellfire. This nether coal is actually used like regular core, but it will smelt 16 items instead of 8 as regular coal. So it's really nice. So we'll come back to this eventually. Now in here I have a turntable. Turntable, really easy to make. You need the saw in order to make it, of course. There you go. We have a concentrated hellfire. The turntable is a really nice block that you can put, for example, let's put, for example, this. Actually, I'm gonna put some dirt, some grass, and I'm gonna grab a piece of maybe a flower. Where are the flowers here? There you go. So let's grab a flower here, and I'm gonna put it in there, and I'm gonna put the flower in there. So now this should turn. Let me see if I hook it up. Okay. This is for turning that. I don't remember. Let me actually grab a piece of clay, because normally you use it as in here. You can see I'm using it to turn this piece all around. So if I put this in there, that's not working. How about now? Yeah, it's working. So let's put it this. You can see I can right click and make these different stuff. So in here we get an on-fire crucible. So this is the first one we get. We can get a vase if we keep going and we get the clay back. We can get an urn, and after the urn, that's it. But I think we miss one. So let me put it back in there. So this is a crucible like this. A planter. There you go. We have a planter. Eventually we'll get a vase, and after that we get an urn. And if we don't pick any one of those, we get the 4 clay back. Okay, and those are the clay. So this is the order of that machine, and it's turning and creating these. Now this doesn't work at all if we don't actually cook them, but we cannot throw them in a regular furnace. Of course, we need to make this in here. The kiln is called. Okay, and there are a lot of recipes for the kiln that also has a bunch of integration with other mods that you have in your area. But once you and I'll show you that in a second. Once you fire them up, you will get a crucible, you will get a planter, and a vase, a white vase, and you can dye. You can see there are different versions here, and you can get a regular urn. You can see I have a planter here that I put a piece of dirt inside. Let's see, do I have a planter here? Okay, let's grab a planter. So you can put a planter, and then you can put, for example, something like that for decorations. Okay, so once you have one of these on fire stuff, you can actually cook them in here. In kiln is called, right? Let me see. kiln. Okay, so you actually need only these 4 pieces. These corners in here, actually, they're not needed. And actually, it can be bigger than that if you want. Now, the first thing you need is the hibachi. And the hibachi, you can see the recipe. We needed that concentrated hellfire. And also this hidden element that is just redstone, blaze powder, and string on a regular cauldron, like we have right there. Okay, in here we don't have anything else. Okay, so the hibachi is just a machine you put in there. If you take a lever or give it a redstone signal, it will actually turn. So it's actually quite a nice machine to cook anything. Okay, and you put it under this in here, not on top. Not just below this block, but you have to leave one space for the machine to work. And right next to it, I have a bellow. And you can see the recipe with the bellow. We need, of course, the saw for these. And we need more of those tan leather. That is just like I showed before. You see the bark. We needed the saw for the bark also. If you use spruce, actually, you use less bark. But that's actually not a problem. And the millstone. So there are some recipes in here that if I put, let's grab for example this unified vase, and I'm gonna put it right here. So I'm gonna turn on that fire and you will see nothing actually is happening. If we take a look at here, we need that in there, but it's not really working. We heard the fire and it's not really doing anything to that. It's because we need the blue fire in there. So in order to do the blue fire, we actually need the bellows to work. And in here I just put a simple, you can see I have a gearbox right there connected to this in here, an axle, okay, connected to the bellow. And I put in between a turntable with a piece of redstone torch that is turning on and off this. Right now it's all on, that's why I have this lever. So now if I want the blue, you can see I can hook it up in there, this turn off, and this start working. So now we have the blue, and this you will see it start cracking up. So if we go back in here, you will see the turntable is powering up and down. That once, if you get this color, it going back again to not working. So this has to work constantly. Of course, the first with this setup that I have in here, the first turn is not gonna work directly, but now it should. So eventually we'll have I'm doing the crucible here. So we'll have a crucible popping up in there in just a second. You can, of course, there you go. So now we have a crucible. And it's the same process for the vase, the urn, and the planter. Okay? You can put, for example, sometimes this in here. This will work. We can use it in a kiln to make this stuff white cobble, like I'm using in the floor. You can use also this soul sand. I think there's a recipe. I think oh no, the soul sand was for the filter. But the kiln have a bunch of recipes that you can check it out. But you have to pay attention if you need the blue or the red fire in order to work. And you can see we got another piece of white cobble, and also we got this ender slag. And the ender slag, we need a stoke cauldron with a little bit of no, a stoke cauldron. So let me show you how to do that. We can take any cauldron and actually use it in there. So I'm gonna just break this for now. I'll show you in here. If I put this piece in there, you can see now the recipe is blue as well. And eventually that is gonna give me soul, flux, and brimstone. we need that soul flux in order to create ultimately this sulfur steel ingot. That is a soul flux, iron, a piece of coal dust, and a soul urn. So you know how the soul flux, it will come from this. Now this is not working now because I really need for this to be blue all the time for that to work. Okay, eventually it will work with this setup, but if you want to make sure it always work, what you can do is hook up always something like this in here, and by yourself, every time it goes up, you can turn it on and off. Like this. But you get the idea. Almost done there. There you go. There you go. We have the soul flux and brimstone. So, but I have to play around this. I put this very fast, so I'm not sure if that's the most efficient way we can actually do that. Okay. So once you have that, the soul flux, you can use it with the iron and coal dust, and we need a soul urn. Now we already know how to make the soul or the urn by putting it in the kiln like before. Now this soul urn I'm gonna put in the bottom of one of those filter hopper. Okay, and you can see how is actually showing hook up to the filter itself, which is a really nice way to show it. Now in here I'm gonna put another soul sand, okay, and you can see in here what for the soul urn, you will see that we need the soul sand, we need those ground netherracks. That will get us more hellfire, but also if we use in an urn on the bottom, you will get a soul urn. And I recommend this to be filtered. So let's grab a little bit more of that. I think I don't have in here, so let's grab a little bit more right here. Right there, perfect. So I'm just gonna throw 8 of these pieces here. Okay, boom. And you can see the urn, where is it? Is here. The urn will pop out as soon as you throw these, and now we have a soul urn. And now we have to combine that in a stoke crucible. Now in here you see we have the cauldron. So we're gonna remove that and we're gonna put a crucible. We're gonna combine that, this with the soul flux, coal dust, and I think it was a piece of iron. Let me see here. Where is it? We can also do a void urn. Use, yeah, a piece of iron. So let me grab one piece of iron from here. Until I put all the elements, nothing is gonna work. So now that I put all the elements, I need to do the same process as before. So you can actually do like this if you're not trusting your setup, and eventually it will go. You just need to make sure that never goes red. Almost there. It went red for a second there. There you go. We have a sulfur steel ingot and an urn. And now with the urn, with the sulfur steel ingot, you can use that to make a steel anvil. Also, you can make, well, this is on this pack, but normally it's just for making the steel anvil. And with the steel anvil, you can make a bunch of stuff. So I have here a steel anvil. And let me give myself a bunch of this stuff. You can make a whole bunch of armor like this one here. So let's grab this one and show it to you. Okay, this is an armor made only with those sulfur steel ingot, a little bit of steel armor plates that you also craft in the steel anvil. You need this leather strip that we already leather strap that we already made. This and also a padding, and a padding is just hemp cloth with feather. So really nice stuff, and that's basically all you can do in this mod. There are other options and decorations in this mod, like but I'm not gonna go to the decoration because normally you just need to follow the recipe for all of those. I'm just gonna show you some blocks that are quite useful, by the way. Let's start with this one here. This one is a vine trap, so really easy to make with vines. And what it does is actually let me grab this chest just to put everything in there. What it is that mobs are not gonna see that as a hole. They're gonna just walk through it and go down. Oh, I pushed this pig into the wall. So let's actually put in daytime for a second, and let's grab some zombies. And actually I'm gonna get myself to game mode 1. Oh, I'm hungry. Okay, let me just put this mob, and you will see they will walk to me because they don't see this. And I can have a mob trap in there. There you go. I can have a saw like that one, killing them inside there. Okay, if I decided. Just let's kill these guys for a second. Now there is another block that is the lens focus. This is really cool. You just need gold, diamond, and a piece of glass. And if I go nighttime, let me actually remove the mobs because I don't want a bunch of mobs spawning right now. So if I go night, this block in here, you can see there is a dark side and there is a diamond side, and all the rest is gold. If it receive, you can see in there, there's a wall that I put a little bit of a little pillar. If I grab a torch and I put it on the dark side, you can see how sorry, it will send the light till it hits something. So it's a really nice way to spotlight something. But not only that, if I put that in there and I go in there, you can see now it's me that is getting the light from that spotlight there. As soon as I go away, it will illuminate back that in there. But if I go around, you can see how it does. So it's a really nice and clever block, the lens focus. We have all these decoration as well. These are really easy to make, so just follow. And I like how you can combine these, for example. Let me actually go to daytime for a second. There you go. How you can combine these. And by the way, all these in here and this in here, you can actually jump. So they're not good for making like a fence only you put it too tall. Okay, like this, and then you can climb these ones, which is really nice. You can see how I climb, but normally mobs will not be able to do that. But this one here, I cannot climb. Okay, I cannot jump over, so these too tall are gonna be nice. Now you can see how I combine them with this, and if I put that in there, it's a nice decoration that you can put together. Let me put that in there. So it's quite nice combination that you can make with all this. In here we have some slabs, some whinstone sidings, etc. We have some tables as well, which is really nice that you can combine. This one is the wood table, and you have the bench as well. We have also this in here. This actually is the Ender Spectacles. I'm just gonna use it for a second, and you can see how not only I receive true sight, but also I see where mobs can spawn in my base, for example, with that. And not only that, if I spawn an Enderman, let's go and spawn an Enderman. Oh, I'm peaceful. Okay, let's go easy. So this is an Enderman, and I'm gonna go very quickly to game mode 1. You can see I'm getting hit because I'm thirsty, but that's nothing to do with the mod. I can see this guy and he's not attacking me. As soon as I remove that, now he's going to attack me. Okay, so those are really nice spectacles, so you can use. Other blocks that I have, this is the Detector Block, and this in here is the Body Block. The Detector Block is a nice nice block that you can use together with your gearbox in a windmill, because it will detect actually if it's raining or not. So if I toggle rain, I cannot see what I'm writing because I have a my recording program there, but let me go toggle rainfall. Oh man, give me a second. Should be raining. Okay, let's go weather, rain. There you go. You saw how this detector block can send a signal. If I don't, of course, I need to create something like this in order for this to work. So I can go, for example, okay, I can put the detector. It will automatically switch to red to let you know that it's raining. So let's use something like this, and that will turn off this in here. Okay, now if I toggle clear, you can see the eyes of these guys going back to blue. There you go. Okay, so that's one way you can use these, but in order to craft these you need the steel anvil. So it's quite you need to do a lot before getting into this. And just so we're clear, this is better with mobs on the open server playing Grim Life. Okay, I haven't played the better with mod with others without any other mods right now. Okay, and we have also the body block. This in here will emit a redstone signal, just like a pulse, every time there's a change on one of the sides, on top of the bottom. It will also make a change when you plant, for example, something. So if I have, let's grab this in here, and I'm just gonna put a little bit of water right here, and let's grab some seeds. Let's grab these in here and some bone meal. Okay, so if I put the seed in there, actually, yeah, this is Animania. This is another mod that we have here. Let's grab some melons, maybe. Okay. Oh, there you go. That's why it wasn't working. Okay. So I cannot plant that. Why not? Let's do it like this. Well, anyway, normally if you play in another pack, it will actually detect the growing of something. Maybe sugarcane. No, sugarcane is gonna work, but if I do something like so, let me grab some sand. So we'll put a piece of sand, we'll put that in there. So as soon as we have a grow in there, you can see it will detect. And you can use a piston or whatever. But normally, there are better ways to make a a sugarcane farm that using that block. But you get the idea why this block can be useful in some situations. But I think, guys, that's basically what we have. You can see in here I have a mob farm, very simple mob farm. You can put a bunch of zombies in here. If I go to already in there, so I can put a bunch of mobs in there. And normally, if you're standing right here, they will actually think that they can come out. Game mode 0. You can see I go in here and they will go all the way down right there. Let me go back to 1. And once we get in there, you can see how they're getting killed by that saw in there. So it's a nice way to make a mob farm if you put a bunch of those, or with a water channel, however you want. And all the drops are getting in rotten flesh. I'm getting it in the filter hopper. But I think that's basically it for this mod spotlight, guys. I hope you like it. I hope you can use this mod on your world. And thank you for watching. See you next time. Bye bye.